Happy Monday morning, Sonder family. It's so good to be with you this morning. I'm with Maggie. Maggie says Maggie's already set up. I'm not quite set up, but I'm getting there. But Maggie said I'm set up, but I just needed my Sonder community this morning. So Maggie, I'm so glad that you joined us. I wish we were all sitting together with Melissa in her favorite little coffee shop. She's in her favorite seat at the picture window with all her stuff and a cup of coffee. So I imagine that we are together sitting with Melissa, enjoying our little hot cup of coffee with one another. I changed my coaching this weekend to hit at 10 o'clock in the morning, twice a week. And today's mantra for me is today, let love be your guiding light. Invite compassion into every interaction, embracing the power of kindness and understanding. And it goes on to say some more things. But so we are here together. I get to embrace and invite the day with y'all, and that makes it extra special. I found this meme. Y'all might have seen it on the socials, but what a year. Oh girl, it's January. we we have a little ways to go, right? It just this January has hit tough. So, this morning you may be in January or you may be sitting with your February journal, and I am here to give you permission to embrace your end of January in your brand new journal with the fresh pages and the fresh start. I think that kind of does a little bit for our mentality when we see a clean slate if January has been tough. And I think it kind of, I don't know, it's just the cold weather. There's just things that have been going on that maybe made January a little tough, and you're ready to go ahead and move into February. Mayha, after our beta users have given a ton of feedback on this personal coaching application, there's been a lot of really cool changes, upgrades, things that are fitting better in folks' lives. And so Mayha is going to do this little webinar on February 6th. It'll be 7 o'clock Central. And she is inviting you to join if you want some more information on that. If you've seen some buzz, go attend that and see the changes that have been made, the improvements that have been made, and hear about how all of that aligns with your life because of the intake. Um, the whole thing is like it's AI, but it's got this human component because it's really taking in who you are as an individual with all these different pieces. Yes, I'm sorry, I should have put PM. If it's Central Time, it'd be like super, yeah. So it's 7 to 8 PM Central Time on February 6th. I'm sorry, I should have put that PM in there, Leanne. So I just invite you to check that out. And there are some things if you ever have questions about the pricing, and you need some help with that, reach out to concierge at silkandsonder.com or even hello at silkandsonder.com and see if somebody can talk to you about that pricing and what they can do for you. It's a really, really good tool. I've enjoyed using it. So there are community guidelines. I shared these as we were logging in this morning. We always create safe spaces, and this is why we are here with our community, because some of us, we show up, right? And we're here for each other. We're going to support each other. You are always welcome to come as you are. You do not have to be feeling great. Just sit back, take what you need, get the good vibes from our Sonder family. We want you as your authentic self. Of course, we keep this space safe, so no hate speech, no self-promotion, just that reminder that these times are about you, and you're carving this time out to make the most of your journal and then to be with your community. Speaking of community, you have Team Jennifer on the call this morning. I neglected to like welcome you. I'm from the Dallas area. I'm in a town called Garland, and then my co-partner this morning, my co-pilot, is Jennifer Krippner, who's in Minnesota. And I'm going to tell on Jennifer. She's been so sick, and the last couple of times we worked together, she was under the weather, and she is back to her sunny, bright self. So I'm so glad that some health vibes finally came her way. And Team Jennifer always loves to be with you together. This is our last dive into prosperity. Doesn't mean we stop thinking about it, but we have our new theme of admiration coming up. So hopefully you've taken this journey with the Sonder family and with yourself, with your journal, and kind of reframed maybe how you see prosperity in your life. I've enjoyed digging into it with this community because I think it hits different with the souls of people who are involved in Sonder family, in our Sonder community. We're just different. We're putting out good stuff into this world. And so I loved exploring that with you. So we're going to finish up that deep dive into prosperity through our mind map. I didn't ask if there was anybody who was brand new here, but if you are, we do a deep dig into our monthly theme at these weekly setups with a bonus prompt. So we're going to be finishing up week 4. I will share all 4 weeks worth of questions with you. And you can grab a screenshot if you wanted to do that deep dive into all 4, but you can also just relish in today's prompt. And then we will be getting ready for a new set of deep digs into admiration for February. We will do our rosebud thorn reflection, which is a staple of our time together. And then I've got some examples of our weekly setup. And you may be like Maggie, you may already have most of your stuff set up, but you're just here to kind of lock it down, to give yourself this time to do other things in your journal, or maybe just sit and reset and kind of hear different ways to use your journal because you may be trying something different next week. We are just glad you're here. So come as you are. So as you know, we've been doing this prosperity dig, and when I think, we first heard prosperity, we kind of have that Western mindset about wealth and success, but we've dug in deeper to look at just how it encompasses a little bit more of the human journey. And so we have done these 4 weeks. Week 1 was, what does prosperity mean to you? And maybe you had to start rethinking that initial thought process about prosperity and wealth and success and what that looks like. And then week 2, we looked at our own definitions and then how it aligned with the things that we truly value in life, those core values. Week 3 was reflecting on a time in your life when you felt particularly prosperous, and it may not have been a wealthy period. I was not with you as your facilitator for week 3, but mine actually was when I first got married. We were broke as a joke. But man, to think about starting a life with this man, and we had our own little dingy apartment and we had leftover furnitures and hand-me-downs, but I felt so prosperous because I felt like we're doing this. We're launching into life, and it was such a good time. It was probably the brokest we've ever been, but I felt so prosperous through that. And then this week, what steps can you take to cultivate a sense of prosperity in your life, regardless of the current circumstances? And I love that we are hitting this right now because January has felt a little heavy sometimes. And so I love that we're thinking, in spite of everything, how can we embrace this prosperity? Consider your relationships, health, personal growth, and community involvement. And then I was really excited to think about what this prompt could look like if we take that wheel of life that we completed on page 7 and maybe look at that one area in our life where the numbers are a little bit lower, or we're recalibrating, right? Maybe we're a 10 in our romance and relationship, but work life is like a 3. And so maybe we need to kind of back off on some things to recalibrate the things that we really need to cultivate more prosperity in. So I'm going to invite you to look at your wheel of life to frame this morning's response out. You could also really think about that word of the year if you chose one, and what that looks like as you cultivate this sense of prosperity, in your life. And I put my page up just in case you're playing catch up and you wanted to see, like, how is this set up. And I take the hint from one of our coworkers, co-facilitators, Bailey, who says I go to the last page because it's the easiest page to find. And as I was considering this, definitely, keeping that daily gratitude and doing that daily check-in reflection for me is a way to cultivate prosperity. Don't get slack on a daily check-in with that gratitude. I continue my daily financial affirmations on my expense page in my journal. I do a daily financial affirmation that helps me reframe my scarcity mindset. Many of you know that that's kind of how I entered my adulthood. And so I get in my head about finances, and I don't want to be in my head about finances. So I do a mindset affirmation regarding how I view finances. And so I want to make sure that I'm staying healthy with that. And then um, probably when I looked at my wheel of life, full disclosure, my romantic relationship, my relationship with my husband's not real great right now. He's not feeling well. He needs some surgeries. I've kind of shared this before, and he's not moving on it to feel better, to want to get out there. And I get judgy and I get grumpy. And so my I want to work on expressing appreciation for him, and reframing those judgments. Like, this is his thing to decide upon, right? Not mine, but I want to be supportive. So I need to kind of reframe that, and maybe that will help boost those numbers up in in my romance category. So there's kind of what, the thing that I'm thinking of. So anyway, yeah, and Maggie's saying she's wanting to maybe bring this to her husband and work on it together. So perhaps you ruminate on this question. It's a great one for the beginning of the year, for new beginnings. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to put on some music while you consider this. If it's hitting this morning, you're just like, I'm not in the mind space for this, grab a screenshot, because I do think this is a very important question to consider as we close out our deep digs into prosperity. I'll be back to check in with you in just a few minutes. I love, love, love being with y'all. Radhika brought up a really, really good point about, it can be when you're thinking maybe in terms of your partner, like, Maggie wants to have this discussion with her husband. They're going through this journey right now, or, I want my husband to get in there and get those knees replaced so we can get out and enjoy life. And Radhika brought up, I think it'd be tough on our partners when we're in a state of growth, like everyone does benefit, but sometimes I wonder if it makes them uneasy at times. And I say to my own partner, but the foundation is solid. And yes, that is, that is totally it. I always want to, keep going, keep getting better, not done with life. I'm like, you're not old. 65's not old. Is what I'm always telling him, and he's feeling old. So I think it does. Yeah, Radhika says my partner is not a journal guy. And so yeah, so there's that disjoint in just how we process the world. And thank you for putting in that. That was very helpful for me to hear because, our brains in this house are wired very, very differently. I needed that reminder. So thank you for that. I just love all the wisdom we can get from each other. Again, I wish we were sitting around at the coffee shop together. We go, yeah, me too. So I'm going to invite you now to turn to page 50, and we're going to be looking at that rosebud thorn reflection. And I'm going to start with the thorn and move up to the rose so we can end up on a happy note. And friends, sometimes the thorns never ever go away. You may be dealing with a health situation. You may be sitting there facing some very uncertain financial situations, and they're a long term thorn. There's a lot of power in being able to write it down, put it on paper, explain how you're feeling about it, and maybe leave it behind. So that's why we do this weekly reflection to just, embrace the good and the bad, the hard and the easy stuff of life. My thorn's not, life shattering, but I am not prioritizing my health, specifically nutrition. Y'all, I'm still in Christmas mode and I'm still eating a bunch of junk, and it makes my joints hurt, and and I just need to snap into it, back into what I was doing. I'm really trying to do the whole protein thing, for women, for our muscles, and drop the sugars, and I haven't been mindful, and I was so mindful up until the holidays. So that's been my thorn, and it's just affecting me, the little ripple effect in other ways. It might be making me grouchy toward my husband. The bud, what can bloom, what you're looking forward to, what is something and I am so excited. I have 2 little sewing students. This is a little sad thing. I'm kind of exploring, and I'm going to teach a couple of gals how to use their sewing machines, just basic instruction. And I'm so excited about that. Of course, because I get to meet a new person, which is fun for me, but also use my passion for sewing into the world and keep that going. And then my rose for last week was we had a friend meetup reunion. We met at a restaurant 2 hours away from home, but with our Houston friends. Many of you know I relocated almost 5 years ago. We left all our people behind, and so I got to see my people this week. So man, that my heart was full. So there's mine. I'm gonna put on a little bit of music. I would love for you to share in the chat. What are you celebrating? What are you so excited about? And then the things that are tough right now. What's maybe bringing you down? Let's put it in our journals. Let's put it in the chat. Let's send out those virtual hugs and support to each other. And I'll be back to check in with you in just a moment. this activity is so good for us as we embrace a look back over the previous week and find gratitude in those moments. And as you're looking at your thorn, look at that and figure out what can I learn from this? What can I learn to turn this a little more positive? It could be challenging, but how can you be in control of that thorn? And so, I'm not doing my nutrition needs, right? So that helped me to put it on paper, and now I've got some action plans for the week, which I'll be sharing a little bit. But I am so glad that you took time for this reflection. And I love. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my chat, and it's really it's hard to find. But somebody said, hold on, let me think. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, hold on. There it is. Maggie said that she ran a labs table at an outreach for elementary students last Wednesday, and it was so successful. And I wanted to shout that out, Maggie, because I think we forget that it's okay to take up some space and be super proud of what we've done. And so I thought, I love that, and it was successful. I did it. And I want you guys to celebrate you. Carly, you made that profile. You did it, girl. You got it. And so celebrate those things. Take up that space. Be proud. Feel successful. Pat yourself on the back. That is just so important. The world wants to tamp those things down. And I think it's good to say those words. Like, I did it. I was successful. So thanks for dropping that in the chat. So it's time to look at that weekly planner. And we're going to set up for our week. We are on either pages 52 and 53 in our January edition. I'm going to finish up January just because the majority of the days for this week are there on pages 52 and 53. But if you want to jump in and you need that fresh start and that clean slate, February's pages are going to be 26 and 27. And y'all know the little poem 30 days has September, April, June, and November. Unless a leap year is its fate, February has 28. All the rest have 3 days more, except January, which has 6,184. I just really love that because it does feel like January has been dragging on. So I thought that'd make y'all laugh this morning. If you need to jump into February and say goodbye to those 6,184 days, do it. Jump into it. I have these 2 pages to talk about before we kind of dig into the different parts. Thank you if you see your page on here. Thanks for posting. I just love looking at pages to kind of see how people set this all the spaces up. The one on the left wanted to feel clarity for the week, broke those goals down into just 3 big topics. There are 3 big goals, kind of those ideas. And then the to-dos directly were informed, or the goals were, informed the to-do list. So you can see how they did that. And then, of course, dropping down to the habit and activity, really embracing this idea of health through all the activities. Um, and then if you'll look over to the one on the right, you can see again, cozy and warm were the vibes, the feelings for the week. And there's 3 goals. One is social, one is home, and one is me, that all are affected by those words cozy and warm, right? So really bringing that feeling into the goals for the week. And then you can see how those to-dos have been informed by the goal set, and then how they set up their habit and activity track there at the bottom. So yes, happy birthday. If I forgot to ask if anybody had a birthday. So love that. So we're going to start off with how do we want to feel this week? You can do a word, more. I've got a great little example of I want to be more of something and less of something. Give me just a second and I'll turn to that. several words, a phrase, a mantra, an affirmation, your favorite quote, a sticker. I love stickers to frame that out. There's a little word cloud there. But here we see some examples of just, they're all very different. The one in the upper middle is just cute little stickers to frame out how you want to feel. The one on the left, more in control, less irritated. The one on the bottom, grounded with a definition to remind that person of what that means. A big O sticker in the middle there, progress, not perfection. Um, the one on the upper right, a sentence. I want to feel accomplished and at ease, knowing I can take things one step at a time without overwhelming myself. And then a beautiful quote at the bottom right, the brave woman is not she who does not feel afraid, but she who conquers that fear. So really embracing those things. So tell me, drop in the chat, what are you thinking for the week? How do you want to end this last week of looking at prosperity, this last week of the first month of the year? What are the feelings that you want to encompass to frame out your week? Feel free to drop that in the chat. Maybe your word is something that someone else is going to go, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And we were gonna, Leanne's saying focused. We last, I think I'm gonna just put mine from last week, which I wrote that I wanted to feel caught up and then calm. And then my goals are really informed by the word calm. Again, just kind of chillaxing. We're going to take those words. You can see some are being dropped in the chat. They do not have to change every week. And if you have that word of the year, maybe this is what you're going to see every single week this year, right? You're just writing your word of the year to keep that front and center. Maybe go look at those intentions you set, several weeks ago. And is there some goals that need to come out of those intentions? Because maybe you didn't address the intentions like you had intended. Also, give yourself permission to say, oh, didn't happen this month. Maybe there'll be February intentions as well. Look at that habit tracker. Are there some blank spaces in that habit tracker that didn't happen? Maybe reframe that habit tracker for that monthly habit tracker for the last week. Change that habit. It's okay to change mid-cycle if something's not serving you. Maybe you're going to do a personal challenge, focus on our theme, and then maybe 3 categories. I got some great examples for that, or again, your word of the year. Let's look at some examples from y'all. I love the one that said, I want to feel intentional, and then kind of set the goals up as intentions for the week. We're going to keep going. I'll go back and forth through these slides while you work on these sections. We're going to do the goals and the to-dos. Motivated, good mindset, good energy. You can see there's 3 major goals. Somebody else used kind of a bingo board to track that mindset energy that they are putting in their feeling for the week. Again, thank you if these might be yours. We appreciate you sharing. I love the one on the left that just says blessed and then happy, happy, happy on that washi tape. But those 3 goals and their affirmations. I'm filled with creative energy. I am blessed. And each day of my life is filled with wonderful moments, and I am grateful for the time I have. So really embracing, like, I think Carly said she made that profile and she's like, I don't, I'm putting it out there to put your affirmations there about how awesome you are, Carly, and just stare at it all week long. Um, again, just those 3 major goals are set up differently. Here's 3 categories: mind, body, soul. And then really, like, so for the mind goal, it says engage, get back. And then the to do is get back to atomic habits. The body goal, experience. And then daily 5K, make it fun. And then soul is the enrichment, be in the moment and take what you need. So really leaning in that. And then the one at the bottom, there's those 3 major goals, but then the to-dos are just direct little, and here's how I'm going to make that goal happen. One thing to make that goal happen for the week. You can also repurpose this space if you're not feeling goals, in very, very many different ways there. You can see, just different ways to set this space up. It's about what you need for the week. Then we're gonna jump into those to-dos. I love this. I had a lot of stuff to do today. Now I had a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Give yourself permission to just, be flexible, be with yourself, give yourself grace. If you didn't get something done, it's okay. I wanted to visit really quickly. This is from the Wall Street Journal about making a to-do list. I've used this graphic before, but I thought it was a great time to revisit it. When you're making a to-do list, limit your list to concrete tasks. Make sure that it's very doable, very concrete, and then assign your priority so that you are getting done the things you want to get done. Plan time in your schedule. So I'm going to encourage you, flip your page after you set these goals and to-dos for the week and schedule in time. Give yourself a time-based, reminder to have that happen. Group your tasks. We talked about breaking up those to-dos. Maybe you have a home to-do list, and I've got some examples, and a work to-do list because that helps you be more efficient. And then list only as many items as can be realistically accomplished in the week or in the day. Don't set yourself up for failure. If you get more things done, ta-da, celebrate those, but really, set yourself up for success by keeping your list manageable. And then, of course, cross them off as it happens and then start again. So there's this cycle with making sure that we're holding ourselves accountable to those to-do lists, but then also some reminders about feeling productive. Done is better than perfect, which is something that really speaks to me. Rest and recharging are important, so be sure you're scheduling that in. Rest is an activity. Again, something for some self-talk for me. Celebrate your small wins. It's okay to do things at your own pace. Um, Reminder that there's so much more to life than just work, than just that to-do list. And no one is productive all the time. So some good reminders. Here's that Eisenhower matrix. We share that every week. Grab a screenshot of this. If you have a huge to-do list and you're not sure where to start and you want to make sure you're prioritizing your time, this is a great tool for that. Yes, complete versus perfect is your motto. Great motto to have. Here's that idea of breaking your to-do list down into like the areas of your life. This is an example of need, want, hope, or need, want, wish. How that one is set up. There's a mind, body, heart. Way to do a list. I love the little sticker to-do list just to make it fun. Here's me on the bottom. Well, if it isn't me writing all the things from last week's to-do list on this week's to-do list. And I tend to do that this last week of the month. I go back through and that's kind of where the to-do list comes, right? I call it the dread list, the things I need to get going. Perhaps you need a to-be list to ground yourself, to get that good, healthy mindset going. We love a to-do list. Again, you make your to-do list, but these might be those extra things that you get done and you celebrate. Look at the weekly to-do over there on the right. Make sure you're sitting with a cup of hot tea. I just love those two stickers as a reminder. Make it fun, make it a bingo board so it feels good to color that in or cross it off, and love the doodles. I wish I were that creative. Love that. Maybe you need a not to-do list. What do you need to remind yourself not to do? That negative self-talk, that mindset of pushing yourself down. So maybe we need to work on kind of our mindset. So let me put on some music while you work on these two sections, and I'll be back to check in with you in just a few minutes. righty. Thank you for taking a moment to consider how your goals for the week will inform your to-dos. Oftentimes mine are very, very separate. Some of my to-dos have to do with my goals, but you know, washing the sheets is a to-do that's not really tied up with a goal. It just needs to happen. So mine is kind of not real well informed. It's just there. And so that's okay too. Let's drop down to the bottom, look at that habit and activity tracker for this week. We're going to get back to finding peace in simple rhythms. Here are some great examples of just how to frame this out. You can assign your number of times you want something to happen. So you can set a goal for these areas, but you don't have to have a goal. You see the one at the very bottom of the screen on the left, no goal, just going to track it with the color when it happens. There's the idea of eat the frog, which is doing those things you don't want to do. That's a great thing to put on this list for this week as we're finishing up all the things we wanted to do in January that we didn't do in January. Maybe that's what we work on. We eat our frog. The one in the middle at the bottom, you'll notice they've changed that from a habit and activity tracker, and they are using it as a sleep routine tracker. So really embracing their sleep hygiene routine by utilizing all the lines in this space for that one part of their day, because perhaps this is a goal, right? A sleep goal. So I love that it's very centered in on one kind of thing for this person of the day. The one in the upper middle, I think is kind of fun, kind of been gamified by they're doing clean, active, read, and express. So they're going to do decluttering for cleaning, exercise for being active, they're gonna read for reading, and then they're expressing themselves through their journal, and they've done their goal says CARE. So every time they do that thing each day, they're aiming to spell the word care every single day. That's a gamification of that space, but also a fun way of just tracking and making sure you get that done. There's that idea of just saying no, maybe what is not serving you. You have a week of eliminating some things. That's actually one of my old ones that I did. I just had a week of no. What am I decluttering and getting rid of my life? Um, and then here are some great examples of just, setting this space up. Notice the one in the upper middle is not tracking on the weekends. Give yourself the weekend off. And, you could also consider that habit tracker, the wheel, like your personal tracker. And then maybe this space each week becomes your work life tracker. And you use that for the tasks that you need to do at work, your to-dos and your activities for work. Some folks like to circle the days that certain things are going to happen. And then notice the one that's kind of there in the middle on all the way over to the right, but the middle one where it says October and November. This is just kind of like if you're transitioning to your new journal or you're in your old journal. We have a little bit of January this month or this week and a couple of days of February. And so you might want to just kind of visually denote that by how you set your space up there. So I'm going to just, put on some music while you work on your habits and activities, and then we'll be back for our page 2 setup this morning. Let us know what you're doing. I neglected to tell y'all, this social, as well as a ton of other socials, will be able to be accessed on our YouTube channel. So it is being recorded. If there's something that you saw that maybe you didn't grab a screenshot of, or you want to look at it again, you'll be able to access that probably later today, but maybe tomorrow. Now let's flip over to the next page. And the things I'm going to be sharing with you for each of these sections can actually be put into any of the sections. I know that lots of you like to take the meal planning section and save that for something like maybe your daily affirmation or your daily self check-in for gratitude. And then you put maybe your main meals in your mind body health plan or in your shopping list. All of this can kind of be, swapped around. So any examples you see could easily be repurposed into any of these spaces. But I want to take a moment this morning and talk about those water droplets. If you are not tracking what you're drinking, that's okay. Maybe you just have your big thermos, and when you have it, you have it. You got your hydration for the day. We have 8 droplets here, and so maybe there's something you're wanting to check in with yourself, like on the hour every day. You could use that as an 8-hour check-in and just kind of put a little check or color it in, and use that as a little tracker for a self check-in if you're checking your mood or something like that. Yes, okay, your vitamins. I love that, Heather. Thanks for dropping that in there. Someone is using it as a feeling calm tracker and checking in with self. Um, so I just wanted to kind of give a shout out because maybe I don't use the water droplets because I keep a big O thermos. So this might be something good for you to use in a different way. And I just thought that'd be kind of fun to discuss. But I also love the idea of color coding those droplets, what you're drinking: coffee, tea, water, Coke, sodas, to maybe bring a little bit of awareness to that. So let's go through all of these sections, and then I'll give you a couple of minutes to set this page up and you can share how you use it. Here's how it might look like if you're doing your meal plan as a meal plan. The one on the left, it's broken down into the meals, but look at the one on the right. That actually was their mind body health plan. They're putting their main meal of, the day there for dinner, and then that frees up their meal plan for a different, for a repurpose. There's a lot of different things you can put in these spaces. There's a whole big list there. You can take a screenshot of that. We love the meal plan for the soul, that kind of check in with self with a journal prompt. The one over there on the right is just kind of celebrating the National Day of. I actually bought, oh, thank you, Maggie. That was your dinner plans. I actually bought a National Day of refrigerator calendar, and so that's kind of fun to lean into that. Again, some great examples of just repurposing these lovely little rectangle spaces for your journal. And then we've got the mind body health plan. I love, again, rest is an activity. Maybe you don't need self-development today. Maybe you need a nap. So be sure you're putting that rest part into taking care of yourself. You could make any of these sections extra fun by embracing the idea of these alliteration days. Treat Tuesday, this or that Thursday. What does that look like for you? Fiction Friday. I told you I'm eating really poorly, so I'm going back to my embracing the rainbow. My example from how it worked for me last time is up on the upper right there. Week 1, I ate a total of 9 different fruits and veggies when I started getting intentional about writing it down. Within 6 weeks, I was up to 21 different fruits and veggies for the week. So I'm going to be re-embracing that to kind of make it fun and get back on my nutritional wellness. So just pulling that, reminding myself, it worked before. It'll work again. I always love the how do I feel? What do I need? Check in with self. This is a good morning check in, a good evening check in. Maybe your mind, body, health section is your morning check in, and your evening one becomes your shopping list. You use it in your shopping list. So, those two, what am I feeling? What is that telling me I need? Some more examples of just filling this out for your self care. I always call this mind, body, health space kind of my selfish space. This is what I do for just me. Then we have that shopping list. We love a bingo. The shopping list, if you don't use it for a shopping list, is a great place for the bingo because of all the grids that are there. It could also be a great place to put in a rhythm and routine checker like the good night checker there. There's some more fun things to put in there. And then finally, we close out with what are you loving right now? A new product, a restaurant, a food, something you're trying. I'm listening to the book Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, which is so fun. I told Jen he could read me my grocery receipt, right? I just love his voice. It's a little naughty with the language, but I'm really enjoying it. He's a fun kind of, yeah, it's wild. He's crazy fun in a great way. So let me put on some music while you work on these sections, and I'll be back to close it out with you.
Easily find and joyously create abundance. I 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 easily find and joyously create abundance.
The fastest hour of our week is finished. We did it. We got our week set up, and I'm so proud of you for carving out this time, making sure that you are using your journal to fit the things that you need in your life. Be sure to share a section or your setup on Sonder Club to inspire one another. I do so appreciate starting my week with you. Again, catch that personalized coaching seminar that's coming up in February to learn more about this personalized coaching. Sonder Club, I just so enjoyed kind of finishing up January with you. I will see you soon. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I've found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves on the trees and the touch of the breeze, there's a pleasing sense of happiness for